If you think about the Dutch rivals, you probably think about Belgium. And it mostly goes like this. We don't like the Netherlands. And if you think about the German rivals, you probably think about which one? We hate everything what is German. My grandfather shot bombers out of the air. So wait for it when those two meet, the Netherlands and the Germans. We step away in this episode from the club football for now. Normally around summertime there's always a European Cup or World Cup football, even for women or for men. And this is the perfect time to post a country rivalry. And we break the tradition in an underrated rivalry because after the known club football rivalries, this rivalry is one of the best known football rivalries in the world. Between two high regarded teams, this is Oranje versus Die Mannschaft, this is Netherlands versus Germany, or this is Holland versus Germany. Welcome to Rivalries Around the World. I'm your host Boody. Remind, I use regularly Netherlands versus Germany or Holland versus Germany. But somehow, Holland versus Germany sounds a lot better. If you might think, what's the difference between the Netherlands and Holland? You probably check this video. How objective I can be if I'm Dutch, talking about the Dutch-German football rivalry. So, I invited some Germans in this show. I present Lucas. He is one of the Germans. He will explain a lot from the German perspective. We see them later. This is a rivalry the whole world look forward to, with a lot of electrifying sentiment and emotions. But first, let's see about which countries are we talking about. First, the Netherlands. It is a West European country at the North Sea, one of the smaller countries in Europe. The Royal Dutch Football Association, or KNVB, has their headquarters in Zeist, in the center of the country. The Dutch national team play their home games in different kind of stadiums throughout the country, like in Eindhoven, the Philips Stadium of PSV Eindhoven, in Amsterdam, the Johan Cruyff Arena of Ajax, and a lot of Dutch fans, the only home ground of the Dutch national team is in Rotterdam, Stadium Feyenoord, also known as the Kuip. When you go more east, you find the Central European country of Germany. The German Football Association, or Deutscher Fußballbund, has their headquarters in Frankfurt am Main. Don't get confused of the tiny Frankfurt in East Germany. Germany has a lot of major football teams and play their home games in a lot of stadiums. I count over 10 grounds. For example, in Dortmund, in the Westfalen Stadium, or Westfalenstadion of Borussia Dortmund, in Munich, in the Allianz Arena of Bayern Munich, or in the Volksstadtstadion or Volksstadtstadion of HSV Hamburg. In the past, Netherlands and Germany play in a different kind of stadiums, so many to count to put this in this video. Let's get the teams know better. First, the Germans. The German Football Association is founded in 1900 as the Deutscher Fußballbund, or DFB or DFB. The German national team first ever official match was in 1908 against Switzerland. The Swiss won by 5-3. Nicknames of the Germans are Die Mannschaft, translated to the team, or the National 11, or National Elf. The DFB crest refers to the national crest of the German Black Eagle, or Bundesadler, Federal Eagle, or Reichsadler, Imperial Eagle. That dates way back during the Prussian Kingdom. Nowadays eagle is placed in a black logo with around the eagle a Deutscher Fußballbund. Below, in the outer circle, you find the German tricolor, black, red and yellow. Above you see 4 stars. The 4 stars stands for 4-time winning world championships. The home kit colors of Die Mannschaft also refers to the old colors in German history. The black shorts and white tops are from the old Duchy of Prussia, or Kingdom of Prussia, but had white and black colors in their flag. The away shirt is different from full black, red and black and full green. Well, we know where the Germans got the green color coming from. That is mainly erroneously reported that the Germans got the green away colors from the Irish team, the first ever team they played after the Second World War. The German team, as we know today, been through a lot. If you look at the geopolitical landscape in Europe during the 20th century, they even split in 2 or even in 3 different teams. Woohoo! We play our first ever match. Finally, the war is over. What? Are we banned? Finally, the Second World War is finally over. Huh? Do we have 2 national teams? Nope, we have 3 national teams. Huh? Do we have 2 national teams again? Yay! Finally one unified team again. Note, sometimes I refer Germany between 1945 and 1990. I meant here the West Germany. Germany is indisputable one of the most successful teams in Europe and in the world. Not only if you look at championship, also if you look at the quality and the quantity of amount of good and legendary players Germany had and have. Also in club football, they make fame of winning the Champions League and European Cups. No shortage of titles. The German team has been crowned 4 times as world champion in 1954, in 1974, 1990 and 2014. 3 times they won the European Championship in 1976, 1980 and 1996. And 1 time they won the Confederations Cup. Well, if you count the title of the German women team, the women team are way better, with 8 Euro Championships and 2 World Cups. The most legendary players of the German national team are Franz Beckenbauer, Berti Vogts, Gerd Müller, Lothar Matthäus and Jürgen Klinsmann. And yes, there are so many other players, but I can't pronounce them all, so sorry for that. Let's go to the Netherlands, or Holland. The Dutch Royal Football Association, also known as the Koninklijke Nederlandse Voetbalbond, is founded on December 8, 1889 as the Dutch Football and Athletic Association. In 1895, the athletic branch left the organization to found their own branch. 40 years later, they add the Royal Certificate in their name, so became the Royal Dutch Football Association, a Koninklijke Nederlandse Voetbalbond, KNVB. The first official match was against Belgium on April 30, 1905. So we are the true big rival of the Netherlands? Yes, Belgium, sure we know you do. The Dutch national nickname is Oranje, or means orange, refers to the Dutch royal house of Orange Nassau, Oranje Nassau. They gained the colors way back in the 16th century. Other nicknames are the Flying Dutchman and the Clockwork Orange. The crest of the Dutch Football Association is an orange shield with a white lion in it, and above the lion you read KNVB, which stands for Koninklijke Nederlandse Voetbalbond or Royal Dutch Football Association. The lion can be tracked back to the coat of arms of the Netherlands. The Dutch home kit is probably no shocker what's in orange. Full orange shirt, shorts and sometimes white shorts and socks. The away shirt changed over the years. It mainly a black away shirt, but sometimes in blue, white and of course with some elements of orange. The Netherlands is known of the football philosophy of total football or totaal voetbal. We come on that later. The Netherlands is considered as the most successful team, reaching the finals and never win them, and having legendary famous players. So I can be short. The Netherlands won 1 European Cup in 1988. Period. And World Cup runners-ups in 1974, 78 and 2010, and 1 Nation Leagues runners-up in 2019. By the way, so does the Dutch women's orange team, right? Some famous all-time Dutch players are Johan Cruyff, Marco van Basten, Beb Bakhuis, Ruud Gullit and Dennis Bergkamp. Okay, let's go to the rivalry. These matches between the Netherlands and Germany has at times been one of the football's fiercest and keenly contested. Iconic clashes, dirty play, tackles and animosity and violence from the Dutch and German fans and players. To understand both teams we need to look at their approach of football philosophy. The Dutch football philosophy developed during the 60s and the 70s, where especially clubs like Feyenoord and Ajax developed and adopted the style of total football. And also in football schools and invest in the youth academy. Became very successful by winning the UEFA Cup 1 several times and later total football play in the national team. Total football can be seen as a fluid system instead of a static positions, while attackers can defend and defenders can attack. Pressure on the opponent if the opponent got the ball if needed, and give space where you have the ball in possession. So it is a very aggressive attacking way of football. From German perspective it is actually in 2 phases. Lucas, one of my German friends, has his own opinion.
The German football philosophy used to be a 3-5-2 system, mostly because Franz Beckenbauer made a new position called the libero, so he was a center back and was doing all stuff like defending but also attacking. But nowadays it is more like a 4-3-3 system because Ralf Rangnick put it up like 20 years ago. He was the first to do so. And there were many coaches that did that same thing. Like nowadays there are many German coaches that are successful, like Jürgen Klopp, Hansi Flick and so on. So we play like more offensive nowadays, we attack a lot, we press a lot, and hopefully we can do some really good counter-attacks or really good game playing.
The basic football philosophy from Spain. But Spain got this kind of football philosophy from Barcelona. And Barcelona got it from Johan Cruyff, a Dutch player. Yes, sure you do. If you include all the stereotypes, cultural backgrounds of both countries, you can basically say German way of whatever it suits and works. You work hard and disciplined, you get what you want. The captain of the coach decides which approach is the best way. Go winning 10 times across the field, then dribble to a goal and make a goal, okay, right? Okay, yes sir, let's do it. So does our German viewers.
I think our mentality, the German mentality, is to put hard work into football and to have lots of achievements, but actually every football club does want to achieve many things. So I wouldn't say there's a special mentality in Germany. We like to work hard, we like to win, we like to put some pressure on our opponents.
Well, the Dutch way is a more adventurous approach in a fluid system with adventurous attacking way of football where team effort is important and players are equally treated together with the coach, while the coach is sharing all the input and make a plan of attack. Okay, go winning 10 times across the field, go dribble to the goal and make a goal, right? Why should I do that? Maybe we can practice 10 times a header and then score a goal. Maybe we cross 10 times across the field, dribble, score a goal and then make 10 headers to practice a goal again, right? Shall we do that? If you look at the fans, we mind there should be a difference between club fans and fans support their country. In both countries, club football is more important than just the national team. However, Dutch fans are famous in numbers and carnivalesque party and welcoming atmosphere prior, during and after the game. You can't miss the famous Orange Legion, as they call themselves, because obviously of the colors, meeting in a lot of games, a sea of orange and a party festival atmosphere. And you can see a lot of different creations and crazy costumes. Holland, Holland, Holland. You are not football fans, you are a joke. The last one is so true for people who are really against modern football. How do Germans think about the Dutch?
Well, we do not have any problems with Dutch fans. Actually, we think they are funny ones and they want to make fun at games and they are cheering very loud, so it's really funny. But there's no offense, to be honest. So I do think so. There's no rivalry between the fans.
Germans got a different approach of supporting their team. For a long time, it is more like they are less outgoing, like the Dutch fans. Let's do not complain about us, we win anyway. Also, celebrations when waving with the German flag was for a long time a taboo among Germans, but has to do with a dark past in the recent German history. So they are less outgoing, even if they want to. Deutschland, Deutschland, Deutschland. Dude, are you crazy? It is recent since the World Cup in Germany in 2006 they waved with the German flag and be proud to be German in big events. But it is still modest if you compare it with the Dutch fans. It's more pretty much down to earth. Okay, let's go to the story section and dig deeper in this rivalry. You can't deny in some games there was some anti-German sentiment is involved, resulting from the World War II events during the Nazi occupation. From Dutch perspective, it started already before the war, like in 1938. A Netherlands-German fixture was in Rotterdam, which started some turmoil because of disturbing events a month prior. But the true rivalry started since 1974. Before that time, Dutch football was rather small and wasn't considered one of the best performing teams and best performing football. But in the 70s, it suddenly changed. The revolution in Dutch football by using the total football approach. During the World Cup in 1974, the Netherlands amazed the world with their total football. As in good tradition, the Dutch and the world believe they are gonna win the World Cup, while they failed winning from the Germans. The Germans won the game by 2-1, with great players such as Franz Beckenbauer. This has seen as the mother of all defeats. A trauma has been born. 14 years later, in 1988, during the European Championship in Germany, the Clockwork Orange took revenge over the Germans by winning in the semi-final by 2-1. The whole game had an anti-war sentiment. The local and the international press was shocked and confused because of chants like they were shouting a lot of crouch or moffen in Dutch and the banners with the text Grandma, we found your bicycle. Because if you don't know it, because in the war they stole a lot of bicycles. Okay, also the Germans, but especially the Dutch players, didn't know really fair play was in their playbook. Trash talk, tackles and foul play was very common during this game. Also after the game wasn't really nice.
There was also one time when Ronald Koeman and Olaf Thon swapped shirts, and Koeman decided to swipe his ass off with that shirt. So I think that was not a very nice moment, and it didn't help quite much to the friendship of the Dutch and the Germans. So yeah.
This game has seen as a closure of the trauma, but also with the anti-war sentiment. And now that I mentioned before, finally justice. Disturbances off the pitch were plenty in 1988, but especially in 1989 and later. There were violent clashes between Dutch and German firms and hooligans during the Netherlands versus Germany in Rotterdam. In 1990 also infamous clashes occurred at the border itself. A town divided by the border, while one side was Dutch, while the other side of the street was German. Both fans of those countries fought each other in those main streets. The Dutch as well, the German riot police has to be there to maintain order. So at least there was an European collaboration already before the existing of the EU. Also in 1990, during the World Cup, Netherlands and Germany faced each other again. Die Mannschaft won the game by 2-1. But the final score wasn't the main highlight. Frank Rijkaard, one of the Dutch players, was spitting in Rudy Veller's hair twice. Both players were sent off with a red card when the emotions went too high. Emotions raised less high afterwards. There was a clash still with the same intensity but without the sentiments. So the rivalry are more confined to the sporting spirit. Also the newer generations of football fans arise in a more unified Europe. Also both teams face each other less competitively. But if they meet, it is still a high level clash of Euro 1992 or in Euro 2004 or in season 2018-2019 when the two teams met 4 times during the Nations League and the Euro 2020 qualifying. So it became more a friendly rivalry, and the trash talking is mainly on social media, as you can imagine. Regular media is more get into the most funny actions and more do mocking in a more funny way to show some video clips as well in songs. Also both countries and associations have tremendous respect towards each other in players and teams. How does Luca think about it?
I do actually like the players of the Netherlands a lot, except from Memphis Depay. He's a little bit tricky, but on the other hand, you've got Wout Weghorst, who's really passionate and aggressive and who loves football. You can really see that on the pitch, and he fights and works for every ball, so that is perfect for me. I really like that, and I also like the talents of the Netherlands. You've got so many talents, like Frankie de Jong, Matthijs de Ligt. They are already well known, but they are also upcoming future talents like Gravenberch and so many.
It feels mocking is more from a Dutch side because they have more to win during those fixtures. From a German perspective, they are enthusiastic in their own way, but can be surprised when their little neighbor is running around like crazy when they play against their country. Mocking from both sides, we have several kind of prejudices, kind of stereotypes like this. The Netherlands is always bragging. They always say they're gonna win the World Cup of Euro. They never win it. Germans? Well, they always score in the extra time after the 90 minutes. We always say you always win the game if you know the Germans are in the bus to the hotel. Well, let's go to the final chapter, to statistics. The first time both teams met was on April 24, 1910. The Netherlands was too strong and won by 4-2. So far, there have been 44 matches played, 16 matches won by the Germans, 12 victories for the Netherlands. 16 games ended up in a draw. One of those draws was in 1912. The final score was 5-5, and it is also the largest goal scoring game in this rivalry. Germany's biggest win was in 1959 in Cologne by winning 7-0. The Netherlands' biggest win was in 2018. They won by 3-0 in Amsterdam. Final whistle! Well, Lucas, this is for you. So take it away, this conclusion.
So my verdict for the Netherlands versus Germany rivalry is that in the past it was a lot more intense than it is nowadays. Nowadays it became less and less. But still, we want to win against the Netherlands, of course. We We do not like to lose at all. We want to get back into the top 10 of the FIFA ranking too. We had very difficult years. So yeah, of course. If we meet up in the European Championships, we'll win.
This was the episode on our first country rivalry. What do you think of this rivalry, and do you have any other comments, or do you know other underrated country rivalries or club rivalries we should mention in the next and future episodes? Post them below in comments. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I see you at the next rivalry. Bye bye.